Thank you very much. This is obviously quite hard act to follow, as sort of last year we saw that already. So I'm I can't really do any acrobatics right now, but I'll try hard. So I'm delighted to be here. My name is Felix. I think this is my 4th or 5th Ecosummit now. So it's amazing to see how much better this event gets, and how much more mature and how much grown up everything is. Because I really think it's good for us, for our planet, and for building a clean and green future. Just now, Peter said something quite important. It's about a mission, of something that you really want to achieve. And we at Shine, we believe in people powering people. We believe in a future where we have people actually creating their own power and being able to have a planet where we have energy in abundance, decentral, decarbonized, at low cost, at all times, almost everywhere. And we set out on a journey to make that happen. So just want to talk a little bit about what energy transition means. What we're trying to do now is to bring the energy transition home. You all know about the amazing increase in onshore wind in Germany. Even only onshore, we have over 50 gigawatts having been installed in the last few years, plus the offshore. We've got almost 50 gigawatts of solar capacity, which has been added to the grid recently. And that together is already more than the 89 gigawatts of conventional production capacity that we have in Germany at the moment. So we have achieved almost 40% of renewable energy in our power mix and our consumption right now. So these are all very amazing figures. You're all quite familiar with them. But there's one thing that's kind of missing in the whole picture. So if you look at these photos, these were taken just from above average German cities. In the upper left, you see Essen, for example. And you see one thing that really stands out. And we've got all this space, and there's no energy production being done with that space. Nothing is happening on these roofs. And that's a shame. And that's really something that I believe should be the next step to take these 38% of renewable power towards 80 or 100% of renewable power. So we have to work on making that happen. And it is possible. I mean, in December 2013, which is ages ago by current standards, there's been 3 gigawatts of solar went online in just a single month in Germany. And if you look at the last big nuclear power plant that was built in the US, that was 1 gigawatt that was put onto the grid, and it took over 22 years. Of course, the sun doesn't always shine, so it's not immediately comparable. But still, if you take these numbers, it just shows you how possible it is to make this energy transition happen at home as well. So there's a couple of trends which are really important in this, and these figures are quite well known, but they're so impressive that I really keep on repeating them. It's the cost of a solar system has gone down at a pace that's unprecedented in any other infrastructure asset in history. This only goes to 2016, where it was around 500 euros, or 500 to 800 euros a kilowatt peak. I've just been at a meeting a couple of weeks ago where I was told that in Mexico it's now at $210. Which is crazy. So it's basically becoming so cheap that it could really be everywhere. And at the same time, you have the prices of batteries going down. So taking all this into account, we have a couple of hypotheses that we have. And I'd just like to see how many of you agree with this. Do you guys think that solar will be everywhere in the world, really? Like every roof, everything that will be solar? Can I see a little show of hands? So that's a clear majority. The other thing that we sort of see is that everything will be electrified. Yes, of course, there will be transitional technologies, but in the end, I think everything, we got the e-mobility coming on, everything will be electrified. And the last thing that we really see everywhere in the world right now, that Moore's law is applying to everything in the world, everything will be digitalized, and that's picking up at a pace that has never been seen before in the history of humanity. So we believe in that as well. So when we have these 3 hypotheses, for us, we take some propositions from that and some things that we want to act upon. And the one thing that sort of flows from these hypotheses is that power delivery will be automated and basically without margin. So if you believe in solar being everywhere, everything being digital, then there can't really be money being made in sort of delivering power from A to B and then doing these things. And the second thing, if we believe in this, then we will have significant investments into infrastructure, whatever it may be. It might be the solar system on your roof, it might be extra smart meters. We've heard a lot of things already today, and we will hear more in the next few days. So that there will be significant investment necessary. And so we kind of see that happening. So we have all of these things are supposedly true, but we still don't have anything up there on the roofs. So why is that? And this is now where what we're doing with Shine right now comes into the picture. And if I look at it, what we think is that complexity hinders people from taking decisions. So there's so many contracts with so many different entities when you run your home or when you try to get power into your home. It's all so complicated. Everything is moving so fast. And then you've got all the regulatory stuff to comply with. And this is where Shine comes in, and we create transparency. We create a very clear view for the consumer on what he can do when and if it's good or bad for him. We create trust because we let ourselves being paid by the consumer. We sort of are on his side and we tell him the truth. If it's not good to buy solar, if it's not good to buy a battery, we'll tell him as well. And we provide convenience and fulfillment. So how do we do that? So we start simple. Like everything in life, it starts simple. So right now, what we have out is a very simple application on the web and on different operating systems where you can put in a bit of data about yourself, about your house, about sort of what kind of location your house is in, and all that. We combine that data with exogenous data from the publicly available resources and make sure that we then give you a few recommendations. Firstly, we have an automated tariff selection tool, which makes sure that you always have the best energy tariff, not only in that very moment, but we'll keep monitoring both your own contract and external offers and always tell you when to take the next best one. We call that residual energy because in the end we want to have as little as possible from a traditional energy provider. Then we give you asset advice, so we give you, as you can see here, you put in a bit of factors about your roof size, about things like this, and then we give you an actually, through our algorithms, calculated advice based on your location, your roof, and all those kind of things, how much a solar system would bring you, how much a CHP would bring you, maybe it would be good for you to buy a new heating system, and all these kind of things, and we bring them into a very comparable format where you just see the couple of things that sort of could change about your house and that could go in there. So on all of that, then we have an interaction with you, and then we have a very selected and very good partner network, which again, because of the digitalization, is becoming much more accessible for businesses like this to actually make these things happen. And then what we have as well, and this has been built over a few years in this company, we have IP technology and algorithms that optimize your self-consumption. So once you have all these systems, we can show you how this is all coming together. We can show you how we have algorithms which actively steer your production and consumption to raise your autarky level, and we have all this coming. So if you look into tomorrow, we can combine this with virtual assets, we can combine this with all these beautiful data-driven things that we've just heard about here, because we kind of enable this development to happen. Just a quick word about what that actually sort of means on a long-term basis. Here you see the customer life cycle of an average person about 25, 28 years old right now. So what's going to happen in his next 25 years of life? He's going to move into an apartment, he's going to maybe move into a house at some point, maybe buy an EV at some point. So all these things we kind of help him with throughout this journey. And we have certain things where we help him buy something, certain things where we just help him pick a tariff or pick a long-term contract. And every time, if you look at this sort of life cycle, we've analyzed this and we've come to an investment of almost 100,000 over the next 25 years for investments and consumption. So we just help making this better, and just by making this better a couple of percent, we can really help this energy transition coming forward, and we can help the individual consumers. How do we deliver? That's very important because it's just very difficult to make these things happen. So we focus on being very good with the client, having a great interaction with our clients, and having the right algorithm, both to kind of select the right energy source, the right asset, and to then control it. And we have very, very good partners who then help us with the fulfillment, very integrated with us, so we make sure that good things actually happen once you've decided to do something about your own energy transition. And here, just one more thing. This is a sort of live demo of the product that we have once you are actually a prosumer, so you produce your own energy, so you can see all your assets that produce energy. You can even see in a disaggregated way the assets that kind of consume your energy. All is kind of managed. We don't expect you to look at this all the time because nobody's really excited for more than a couple of weeks about these kind of things when they buy it. But we will always monitor in the background and make sure that everything is run in the best possible way. This is just a quick overview of all our sort of capabilities and what we do. We don't do everything yet. As you see here in the bottom right, obviously the orchestration of the planet is still a bit off. But with these kind of technology and these things that we talk about here, I believe, and we very much believe at Shine, that we can create a sort of global network of everything that's about energy information, and we use blockchain and all these things to do that as well. Obviously not too prominently because everybody's doing it. But you can really have something that can change the way our world works, and that would be amazing to achieve that, and that's what all we are working on here. And in the end, it's let's bring the energy transition home and let us do that for you, because people have better things and more important things to do. So we are trying to make it as easy as possible for people to do that. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Felix.
Yes.
I need to recycle this.
Just one quick thing.
Okay.
You usually ask if we're raising any money, so I waited for that.
Are you raising money?
Yeah, so we are currently looking into growing a bit faster than we already are. So we are here with a booth up there, and there's 2 of my employees here as well. So we'd love to talk to you if you're interested in partnering up with us from the technology side or from the investment side. So that would be great to chat. Excellent.
This is called customizing your moderator.
Thank you.
Yeah, good.